Redditors who have met a former crush years later. How did it turn out? Found out she was fat and unattractive. Then I realized I was too. Ran into my high school crush because we were both on the same plane and seated across the aisle from each other. She's a lesbian now. Did you try to turn her in some crazy scene-full desk scenario? We talked every day in high school for 3 years. 20 years later she didn't remember me. It seems that the girls I was chasing in high school, if I see them now it's like, I don't see what the big deal was. And then the girls I wasn't chasing, but in retrospect should have been, are all insanely gorgeous, funny, smart. If I had a time machine I'd go back and punch 15-year-old me right in the beanbag. Idiot. I hear ya. I was too cool for band, so I tried to do sports. I sucked. Meanwhile all the band girls were being finger blasted on the bus rides home, while I was awkwardly missing layups on the basketball court. Last time I saw her, when I was 12. I was 35 when I did some research on the internet and found her. I sent her a letter saying hi and was curious on how she was doing. Gave my email address and cell phone number. 3 weeks went by and get a message through Facebook from her saying, I'm fine. Married with twin boys. Don't contact me again. 6 months go by and my parents get a phone call from a guy saying he's her ex-husband and wanted to talk to me. I call him from a friend's cell phone. He tells me that she's in a marriage with an extremely controlling husband and I should be careful. I thank him for letting me know and hang up. I've stayed away ever since. Do you have any idea how the ex-husband found out? It probably was her husband posing as the ex that's trying to warn him. He always said, I want to be a cop. I'll never be a fucking firefighter. Firefighters are pussies. Cops are the real men. He became an army firefighter. But instead of being humbled he's still a total douche. Firefighters are fucking homos. Fucking firefighters. First time getting pee in the history of pee. Or fire. Went out for drinks. Still fixated on her. Was given a chance. Got wasted and embarrassed myself by spending so much of the night talking about how much my younger self liked her. Extolling her virtues like it was years ago. Mentioned how crazy and awesome it was that I was finally getting my chance. It was sad as shit. I didn't realize how bad I fucked up until I sobered up. Woke up and immediately knew I would not be given a second opportunity. Saw her reactions and responses from the previous night with a sober eye. Realized the massive amount of I'm going to be polite, but I've made a mistake that was continuously written across her face. Embarrassing as shit. I'm cringing with you. Edit. F it. I'm not changing it. Had drinks. Went back to her hotel. Basically did not leave it for 2 days. Netflix marathon. They were just chilling. I felt puzzled that I had ever had a crush on him. Said hi and moved on. We started a small thing when we were around 17 years old. Didn't work out cause she was spoiled and I was pretty heartless asshole. Fast forward a few relationships for us both, 11 years of growth, and she came back into my life a few months ago. We are dating and life is pretty good now, couldn't ask for anything more. Sometimes it's the right person, but the wrong time. The right woman at the wrong time makes all the difference in the world. Mr. Nerd in Disguise 21. Apostrophe. This really didn't make sense to me until I lived it, to be honest. It's so true. Let's see. Met her when I was 13. We totally crushed. Fast forward to when we are both 23. She has a kid from a previous marriage, but it didn't bother me. Got married. She cheated. Tried to take me for child support for her daughter. 2/10 would not recommend. I liked her when we were 15, but she wasn't nice to me. I ran into her when we were 23, and she looked so old I didn't recognize her. When she realized I didn't recognize her, she began to cry and ran to the bathroom. Never saw her again. Update. Thanks for all the questions. I had rather sad answers to most of you. 1. We definitely weren't at Taco Bell, aka the Aphrodite of fast foods. 2. I'm confident she wasn't a faceless man who was accidentally named by her friend. You should check if she's okay in the bathroom. People slip and SM to mess at it. Got my first gold. Thank you. I'm sorta currently going through something like this. Dated 2 years ago. She went through a rough patch, and I was young and stupid, so she slammed the door on me. We added each other to Facebook and met recently. It was outstanding. We had really great time and went to her place. I don't know where it goes from now. Gotta be patient and receptive, I guess. I came out of a house party to pee, and she was between 2 parked cars outside blowing 2 guys. I drunkenly cheered her on, then took a pee on the house. This should be way higher. Tried to pull an ultimatum on me in high school. Do this or we're over. I called her bluff and that's how our relationship ended. 10-ish years later we're both single, and I visit her on a lark. Turns out she's sleeping with a divorced man and trying to get him to abandon his wife and daughter. Yeah. Also her apartment was absolutely filthy. I mean, I'm no prize, but I've tried to ruin exactly 0 families. If he's divorced, how would he abandon his wife? Abandon as in completely cut off contact with them forever in every respect. Financially and socially. Never give them a cent and never see them again. She works at a supermarket near me. I said hi one time and have since avoided using it because I'm not the best with repeated social interaction. Edit. Thanks for all the helpful tips, guys. But I avoid her because I don't want to do the hey what's up, how you doing fake an interest in their life interaction. Really? I'm all good socially mostly. I feel you. I'm planning to move cause I got drunk and talked to my neighbors and now they say hi when they see me. She didn't recognize me, or maybe pretended not to, who knows. Either way felt pretty shit. Hadn't seen her in 15 years. Ran into each other online. Decided to meet up for dinner. Married now for 5 years and 1 kid. Sorta similar. I had ugly duckling syndrome in high school. Hit about 16 and boom, I suddenly became attractive to women. But I still had no idea how to interact with women at all. At 22 I started to get minor modeling fill-in gigs. Fast forward to 2010, I found this girl on Facebook I had been in love with since 6th grade. She just went through a divorce, so I spilled my guts. We were always friends, but she didn't know my feelings. I flew home to Sacramento from Dallas just to see her. At least see my friend. Boom, it was like instantaneous love. For 4 days we were in an intense feeling of love. My dreams literally came true. We planned for her to visit Dallas. Bought a ticket. Well, she fooled around on me. That old cheesy Dr. Seuss quote, don't cry cause it's over. Smile cause it happened. Well, I still smile because I finally had a legitimate dream come true. Everything I wanted from 8 years old to 18 happened. That's what counts. We've been dating nearly a year. He was my sister's best friend and I crushed on him from 2nd grade to 10th. I'm high-fiving the hell out of my childhood self now. Most amazing relationship I've ever had. She was in my class back in kindergarten. In my class again in 3rd grade. Showed her my boxers and she was now my girlfriend. Then I discovered she cheated on me with my best friend. I saw him showing her his underwear. Needless to say, I've moved on from that event in my life. But if you are out there, Olivia or Matt, F you. This comment is weird if you imagine Op as the teacher. You're weird if you imagined Op as the teacher. Got Thai food. Hung out. Caught up. Pretty chill. Would still F her brains out, but I don't think she's into it. I'm sure most of us would prefer to keep our brains unfucked. Good sir. Crushed hard and competed for a really cute girl in college, but when she moved in with him, I closed the door on things. Years later she sought me out on Facebook as apparently for her. I was the one that got away. It led to a tawdry on again. Off again. Mostly sexual tryst in which we determined the things we did best were fighting, or in which we cycled through quarterly, until about a 4-year break due to mutual animosity. We made up. Had an amazing year. And broke up again in a heart-wrenching explosion that stings to this day. You should fight and F at the same time. It just saves time. Doing 2 things at once. Those were the better times. Super. We originally met my freshman year of high school. His senior year. 3 years later. We met again. I still had a crush. We became really good friends. Then started dating after I graduated. We are now married and have been for over 2 years.